Click the subscribe button below. If you find the information useful, please click the like button, to help others find our content. For more information you can visit our website, at thejerusalemassembly.org.
The Jerusalem Assembly. November 16, 2019. The Virtues of Inspiration or the Factors of Resentment by Ruben D. Garcia. Lately, have you experienced or have sensed a sensation or have a perception that has brought about a little confusion or doubt in your life? Something, shall we say, elusive, especially in your daily routine? Maybe you have encountered people in a greater hurry to get who knows where, or maybe you've seen or have witnessed people having less kindness than what you used to think we should be at. Better yet, have you noticed antagonistic attitudes among those close to you or within your community, and oh yes, friends or work companions, and in some cases bringing about hostilities with grave consequences? However, you may have also noticed that what you are sensing does not reflect on others, and this is what makes you feel different to some degree, constituting a sense of isolation you never had or experienced before. This troubles you of course because, as I mentioned, other people seem to carry on with little or no alterations to their daily lives, whereas for you it all seems to be reshaping or altering your cognitive abilities. You wonder when you hear of a shooting, the impeachment process, the lack of justice, mercy, compassion, and even tolerance to issues that in the past people became involved and sought solutions benefiting the masses and not just the few. You are astounded at having the feeling that it seems only you are witnessing all of this, and those closest to you cannot comprehend or seem uninterested in your observations, leaving you in bewilderment. But fear not, my faithful readers, for you are not alone. It seems at times that you are, but you are not. Many awakened individuals are experiencing the same emotional and spiritual symptoms you have been experiencing since June of this year. There have been earlier episodes of what you have been sensing, a sort of conscience evolution that affected few in late 2012. It was not as dramatic as it is happening today, but it did happen, and its effect back then was phenomenal for those affected. As for you and many others, consider what you are feeling to be as the efforts of individuals climbing, or shall we call descending, a mountain trying to reach its summit. My friend, humanity has been climbing this mountain since December 2012 and will continue until the year 2040, in which all of humanity will have reached this summit. For now, you will continue your ascension the best you can muster, as are many others doing. Just as you are in a bewildered syndrome, you must trust in it, and as time passes and the process continues, you will find that you are not alone. What I think you will be thinking by now is why I sensed this or have these symptoms of perplexity. After all, I am a confident, educated, and a swell all-around individual. Why then can I not put my finger on what is happening to me? You may find that it is all an illusion, or simply a dream from which you will come out. The reality is that, even you may not be able to have full knowledge of what is, it has a purpose that you must trust and believe in, because as human beings, we never, and I say with complete assurance that humanity had never experienced it until now. This process, this evolution of conscience is all new. Its purpose is far beyond our understanding, as of right now, but I can assure you that by the year 2024 it will all make sense to you, and you will be glad to have been one of those, shall I call you, a chosen one to experience the virtue of inspiration. So let's look at the two perceptions, or in this case of conscience evolution, inspiration and resentment, for these two are webbed in a concept that comes from the highest divine order, and you, my friend and reader, have been chosen to be among the ones to experience its divine and inspirational virtues. First, as mentioned earlier in this article, June of 2018 to be exact, the 6th month of the year is when this new trend began to be fortified. It was the beginning of a divine pilgrimage accompanied with a profound awareness not only to what is happening to our planet but to all of humanity. It was, is, and will be until the year 2040, a manifestation or trend of such magnitude that its effect on you are now sensing. In short, your consciousness has been altered, evolved, and improvised to higher levels you cannot imagine, but you will be glad, no, you will be auspiciously happy and full of a joy in the future to have been chosen to be the one of the first ones to experience its benefits and perpetual existence within you. Inspiration will be more than just a dream factor. No, sir, it will be the mechanism to do, create, and invent. This phenomenon was built within you since the creation of the first human being but remained dormant for this period, the year 2019, where its blueprint became no longer a plan but an actual reality for all of mankind. You must know now that its origin even was within us since day one of our creation. Its essence, or its privileged domain, comes from the divine source, God. You may ask why now? It is a simple answer to it. It was the decreed time by the divine and infinite Creator to be the right time for its divine appearance. Its existence was dependent on our attitudes, beliefs, and of course caring attitude toward all creatures in this planet. Thank goodness that there were human beings that sought to plead for a more comprehensive and caring existence, in which literally prayers and supplications came to the attention of the Great Source, and in revising our human trend recognized that if there were not to be a divine intervention, our existence, well, humanity may not have reached the 22nd century. Because our human attitudes for aggression and revenge inflamed since the 1900s with war after a war in just one century, by the year 2030, our luxurious existence of today would cease to be a pleasant, enjoyable one and would have been replaced by the products of a nuclear or worst war. Well, just imagine the worst scenario you could muster and its effect on humanity as overall, and you will get the idea the great and divine saw if we continue on our destructive path. Today, of course, these attitudes of coercion, deceitfulness, and falsehood as pillars of humanity's avarice would have been the factors of our demise, but are no longer effective as it used to be. In fact, their supremacy is dwindling down, that by the year 2040 they will be non-existing. Therefore, how is that this trend with its divine impact has for outcome? It is very simple. You, the individual, the influenced one, will utilize the virtue of inspiration in its pure essence to create, invent, to build a more enjoyable life, not only for you, the individual, making your life more pleasant and joyful, but also one of a higher quality. The new life, in no way it will resemble what you now call a good life. You will be the benefactor of a divine manifestation. The dependability of this successful spiritual endeavor in your life today and the subsequent years to come will depend not only solely in your conscious awareness but in what you will do for others as beginners. Simply stated, my dear friend, will be the true feeling of caring for the less needed. In short, practice of your kindness to all things in this planet is essential. It may sound and look as a monumental task to achieve the splendor of a new life along with a new earth, but you can start with small steps of kindness. Just as simple as picking an item that is on the floor of a store and placed it on its appropriate place, picking a penny from the floor and added to the other ones you've been gathering, planning to give to charity to feed the hungry. You can practice to give at the human being that stands at the corner of street with a sign, veteran need food, or maybe a family with a sign, lost job. You are going to encounter every single day an occasion in which you can practice kindness. Be careful not to judge or place a comment that may resent your attitude toward the needed ones, for if you do, you are exercising resentment, and this is not the purpose of the new inspirational trend currently within our midst. The judgment is created by your ego, self-righteousness, your conscience dictating your life, alienating you toward the new divine and spiritual trend now been manifested toward your ascension. I can assure you without a single doubt that the year 2020 will be a year of such revelations that will rumble, shake, and vibrate your beliefs to such core that will make you a better human being or keep you the same, as you are now, been perplexed, confused, and in a myriad of confusion, because if it does persist you will be as the ones that may not be able to come out of it, causing despair and spiritual agony. Still, it is human nature to ridicule what they do not understand, and in extreme cases denied, impede others for being enlightened, and in some cases, recourse to violence if necessary. Herewith, I will share with you when such attitudes will become a reality and will have to do during the moment humanity will be told, see, and witness that human are not the only ones in the universe, as been told for thousands of years by our government, our houses of social gatherings. For the truth of the matter is that they are other higher developed beings with superb technology that would, compared to them, we would be as the steam locomotive is to the high-speed train. In fact, our military technology to protect us would be like using bows and arrows against an adversary using destructive laser-driven guns. Yes, My readers, you will witness during the year 2020 the onset of more disclosures and revealing photos of various sites in which highly advanced crafts will be seen by thousands of people. Someday after all of these events, there will be a peaceful encounter among them and possibly been carried by the media. All has been prepared with the notion not to create panic or least to minimize it and not be like it was when the radio show produced by Orson Welles early last century caused such panic in the nation that really scared people to death and some took literally to be happening. Thus, the arrival of these highly evolved beings is inevitable because they are already here. You may ask why I cannot see them and their spaceships. Simply because whether we wish to accept it, we being conditioned to understand of their existence, and it is this trend of inspiration, consciousness evolution, and personal free will, the energies that have arrived since December 2012 and have been arriving has for purpose to prepare humanity for such encounter. I am one of those that eagerly wait for such moment because it will perpetuate our divine existence for many, many generations to come, and the whole humanity, our children of now and the ones to be born, will benefit immensely of such technological disclosures. Our attitudes and favorable gestures will play a major role in their disclosure in the year 2020. Unfortunately, we are creatures of bad habits and new revelations are not easy to be absorbed or accepted. We have dwelled for so long in denial stages in about just everything we deal in our daily life that it doesn't surprise me that when our religious, spiritual, and emotional beliefs and customs are threatened, we may act with reprisals and indifferences. In either one of these, it will be a challenge for humanity, no doubt about it. As for me, I am ready to see the bright future for my children and grandchildren, knowing that it will be a secure one from wars, pestilence, and darkness, but rather their world to be one of nurturing peace, unconditional love and human compassion as it was taught by all of the great master. Therefore, it will be inevitable that some individuals may reject virtues that accompany inspiration for those that may cause fear and doubt. The ending result will be for some of the less inspired ones to alter their motives, that is, they may seek to declare that the old way is the right way, and to modify, alter, or substitute its nature will go against what was learned to be the truth, when in reality what was taught to us was a delusion, a falsehood, a mirage of beliefs to accommodate their desires to control our minds through fears and keep humanity in the dark, which is by now being exposed to be false. Would there be implications of such choices? Absolutely, but they will be brought into the light, and once it is done, humanity will begin to emerge victorious above it all, and this will be a total experience by the year 2024. In conclusion, the choice is simple. Either you are inspired by what is taking place or you are not. If you become a patriot of the current inspirational trends manifested by the Great Source and rely in your own cognizant aptitude, you will endure and solidify your thoughts that all that is taking place benefit you, your loved ones, and the generations to come, and you will be displacing joy and happiness that will threaten those that decide not to accept the virtues of inspiration and resent your stand. Now, the ball is in your court and will be throughout the year 2020. You are becoming the emotional inspired engineer of your present and future realities. It will be your wise choice to begin to understand the inspiration trend, awakening, that has engulfed your being. Lastly, keep in mind that to negotiate the acceptance of what it is happening is going to require re-evaluating your beliefs. It may require for you to consider doing an act of conscience as you have never done before. The resentment from other will be real, be sure of that. But be steadfast. The truth is here, and it will be revealed to those that believe in and guard it with honor and loyalty. You may find yourself alone in this task, but be fearless and strong, for those that resent what is taking place will shout the loudest, bring about conjectures, express displeasing with others, and commit themselves to utterly destroy the greatest virtue humanity possess, free will, for it was done for thousands of years but no more. Observe this. The individuals resenting the new ascension and arrival of beings of higher dimensional domains will recourse to use the old tactics whatever it doesn't go their way, and your now attitude of inspiration and considering free will to be the supporting element of your life can produce the ever popular, blame another. This will be your key to recognize individuals conducting processions of resentment toward those inspired to ascend and manifest a joyful life. The time is now. The era of inspiration is in full motion and will continue throughout the year 2020. Practice kindness. Pursue peace and harmony at all levels of your environment among all people. Others inspired individuals will recognize your ascension and inspiration by these acts and provide warm inspirational feedback, whereas those that are not will also recognize you, except they will convey negativity and judgmental overtones, but fear not of them, because whether they realized it or not by some divine unconscious to them, a transformation will take place a later period. The divine source will change their attitudes. It may take some time, but it will happen. For now, you the inspired ones, enjoy the virtues of inspiration. It may become as a need to locate to another neighborhood, or to a new job, or a new career, or even a purchasing of a home. In fact, it may also inspire you to separate or remove yourself from a relationship that may not be beneficial for you at this time and in the future. There are many other events, situations, and opportunities that will be manifest within you. It will be your insight that cultivates the virtues been offered of accepting or declining it. For now, I offer my love and wishes for a joyful reality now and through the year 2020. Practice patience and determination, my dear friends. These are the soil and elements to bring the divine germination of the virtues of inspiration in everything in your lives. Namaste.